Pulse on the planet, keep it fast, standing. Red alert, red alert, red alert, yeah. Got the dirt on my soul, no grass standing. No gas, not even if it's old dark 30. Split street made, even dirt roads, highway 30. 50, 40, 90, that'll get you 30. That's a clean sweep.
Welcome to Red Alert Houston Rocket Show. I'm Hope Champion. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and drop Clutch City in the comments. And lock in to hear Daily Rockets talk.
All right. Hey, look, better know what you heard. Y'all know what time it is. This is uncut, unchained, unfiltered. Piece of Rockets Red Alert. Time to sound the alarm. Yeah, I'm running late, brother. Yeah, I'm running late. But we finna jump this thing right on off, man. We finna jump this thing right off. All right, give me a mic check. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how I sound because I don't even got my phone pulled up to the show. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. I'm on one. The Houston Rockets in the face off against the Memphis Grizzlies. I just had to install my computer. I had stuff that just wasn't working. My my stuff still wasn't working. So I installed my computer and I've been working damn near overnight. Um, but tonight's game is going to be a two-sided story for me. It's going to be a two-sided story. And I want to get right into my main point of tonight's game. Tonight's game is a scouting game for me. It's a scouting game because, you know, right now I'm feeling like little boy blue. Right now I'm feeling like little boy blue. And I got to kind of blow my horn, bro. I got to kind of blow my horn. If I don't, who will? If I don't, who will? Right? First of all,
I don't mean to be rude.
I had so many questions.
why is it that all of a sudden, you know, anybody can tell you that a person is not a good basketball player? And why is it that all of a sudden everything is about fit and about all this other stuff other than skill? When you got a leader and you got a system, you assume that the person at the head of your situation is a leader of men and he can lead people. He can lead people. Yes, I'm talking about it. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing the subject right back out. We starting off with it. We starting off with the fact that at this point, it's ridiculous to say that John Morant can't help us be a better team. It is insane. Absolutely insane to say that John Morant can't help us be a better team. It's insane to think that if we can get Fred VanVleet's contract moved to Memphis and get John Morant, and we have to give up some of the stuff people want to get rid of anyway, and we get Ja freaking Morant, we're giving up Fred VanVleet and some other stuff that people don't want anyway. It's insane to think that John Morant can't help your team. First of all, Ime's the leader of this team. You have to convince me. That Ime can't make a person who is thin and not holistically bought in on defense change his mind frame. And that's going to be damn hard to do, as I just saw him do it with Jalen Green. That's going to be exceptionally hard to do, as I just saw Ime turn Jalen Green into a decent defender. Listen, Listen, it's gonna be crazy to tell me that a person with that kind of athleticism, that kind of speed, and a natural point guard, because we had this conversation. We've had this conversation before. I said, you know what? Jalen's best scenario is that he develops into a point guard. And all over Houston, people shot me down. All over Houston, people shot that down. I said, no, 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 no. It's his speed, it's his quickness, and the way he dribbles the ball. If he can learn to pass, if he can learn to think like an actual point guard, Jalen's best possible outcome is if he becomes a point guard. It's going to be better than a shoot guard. He don't have the killer mentality, and people shot it down. I before Dylan Brooks went to the World Games or whatever you call them and lit up everybody for 39 points. I was on a tirade about how Dylan Brooks would be the perfect fit for Houston Rockets. And everywhere I went, they shot it down. Every time I mentioned it, somebody shot it down. And by the same token, I've had some bad calls. I admit, Ade Mare was a bad call. I admit that. I thought Ade Mare was going to be the next coming of Joker Yao Ming mix. I thought he was going to be a good situation for Ime. I mean, for dealing with Wimby, and he would be a nice mixture of the two. I was wrong, and I could be wrong about Ja. I could actually be wrong about Ja Morant. But here's the thing: the logic of why I'm wrong, why I'm wrong, cannot be that Ime can't do his job. It just can't be. The only thing I'll accept about Ja Morant is that he can get hurt, and Fred VanVleet's already hurt. So that those two things conflict. The logic is already, it's already in turmoil when it comes to the substance of the discussion, because we're talking about a freaking hurt player already that we already have. We saw what Achilles did to the greatest shooter other than Steph Curry on the face of the planet. We saw Clay before the Achilles, and we saw Clay after the Achilles. And you mean to tell me that Fred VanVleet is going to come back after Achilles and be any kind of a shooter?
That's some dysfunctional shit.
I will not. I will not stand by and let somebody tell me that Fred VanVleet is going to come back after Achilles and be a decent shooter after we saw Clay a precipitous dropout like an absolute cats and dogs reign from where he was as a shooter to where he is now. And somebody tell me that Fred VanVleet is going to come back after Achilles and be a good shooter. And then, is Fred fast? No, not really. Does Fred have anything other than controlling the controlling the tempo of the game that he does other than talk? Well, KD's doing a lot of talking. Armin's doing a lot of talking. We have leaders on our team. We don't necessarily need a leader on our team. What we need is skill on our team. We need to be better in the places that we can be better. And let me tell you what John Morant makes us better. He is a natural point guard. He's a natural point guard. And if all he does is dribble the ball down the court and pass it to somebody, he's better than Fred VanVleet. If he does nothing else but dribble the ball down the court, he's better than Aaron Holiday. Don't tell me that Aaron Holiday and Josh Okogie and Dorian Finney-Smith is the answer to our success, but Ja freaking Morant is a deficit to our team. It's asinine. It's asinine, and it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And the reason I wanted to come on here and say this, because I wanted to say it before tonight's game. Before he go out there and bust our ass, before he come out there and bust our ass, I wanted to come on here and say this. Oh, he's suspended for the night? Is he suspended for the night or was he suspended already? Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Y'all know me. I don't duck no smoke. I don't duck no smoke. I'm gonna say this one last thing. I'm gonna say this one last thing. The media has made Kevin Durant look like he was the worst villain, one of the worst villains in the history of basketball. We saw with the media how the media trashed and bashed him. And even the first game, I had people coming up here to my channel saying Kevin Durant is gonna bring down our team. That everywhere Kevin Durant go, he can't win unless he's with Steph Curry. I had people coming on this exact show, on this exact channel, saying that Kevin Durant was bad for the team. They came, they said it. I listened. I understand where they're coming from, but I'm saying he don't need to do everything. All he needs to do is be a professional basketball player. Play basketball like you've been playing basketball all your life. And that's the same thing I'm saying about Ja Morant. He don't need to be super Ja. You don't need, and I'm not saying that I'm campaigning for Ja. I'm not campaigning to say that we need to get Ja. I'm just saying that it's a thought. It's not like shoot it down because of just the fact that the media says that he's this and he's that. Yeah, we know that he had a gun. The man had a gun at 20 whatever years old, 24 years old. The man had a gun. It wasn't like he had a switch. He had a little bitty biscuit. He had a little biscuit, a little a little tummy tuck. Nothing serious. He wasn't out there with a yakap with a llama. He was out there with a little biscuit. We seen him with a biscuit twice. Who don't got one? Who don't got a little pepper? Who leave home without their pepper all the time? Who don't got a little pepper that they carry with them every now and again? The man had a little pepper. That's it. He came back. He came back from the pepper shit. He got hurt. He was hurt before the pepper shit, but he came back. He got hurt. Okay, boom. He got hurt. He came back. They said, "Don't do the gun thing." We see people in the NBA doing it. They say nothing to the other people, but they villainize Ja because he had a gun. Okay, okay. The people, Gills is still one of the biggest podcasts in the world, but they villainize Ja because he had a little biscuit. Then the man say, "You know what? Boom! I'm gonna throw a bomb and cover my ears. I don't want to hear the noise. I'm gonna drop a bomb on you, and I'm just gonna not listen to the noise. I'm not gonna listen to the back talk." And then in a competitive game, he got benched. We don't know the reason. Maybe it was his defense. Maybe the coach had other things. I don't know. Nobody has said. They asked Ja. Ja said, "Ask the coach." You got to ask him, which is a good daggone statement. That is a good statement. Ask the coach because nobody knows why Ja wasn't on the floor. Nobody has even mentioned it. Nobody has even brought it out to say this is why he wasn't on the floor. Nobody asked the coach as of yet. Now, with that being said, this is what I'm gonna do. I ain't ducking no smoke. Anybody want to come up, voice your opinion, feel free. Feel free. But you have to you have to make me understand. Let me know. Let me know. What is it that he does on the floor when he's on the floor? What is it that he does on the floor that don't make us better? Let's start there. The link is in the chat. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed. But let me know. Now, shout out to Archon. Shout out to Johan Desire. Anybody else who listening in the building. Um, Rash Tax. Shout out to you, Rash Tax. Now, the link is in the chat. Anybody who want to come up and speak on it, can come up and speak on it. You want to talk in the chat? We can talk about it. We can talk about it. This is what Johan says. Johan says to me, no effort. Are you talking about on defense? Are you saying that Ime can't change that? Are you saying that if a person doesn't have to be the main scorer on the team, that he can't observe some of that effort towards defense? Now, well, you're welcome to tell me. You're welcome to tell me. But while you tell me, I have to do this. For the first time on my platform, another person that been supporting me, been in the chat, bringing up good points, very intelligent from what I can tell. And we're gonna bring up Archon to the stage.
Hey,
Archon,
what's happening here? Hey, what's happening, man?
what up, man?
You say intelligent, that's to be seen, right?
Yeah, right. We're gonna find out now.
Well, I'll put it like this. You cannot qualify, put some restriction on the argument like that, because what you try to do is restrict the Ja Morant argument to just his activity on the court. And that doesn't really work, because you said out of your own mouth whilst you were talking about Kevin Durant, all we need these people to do, all we need him to do, all we need any of them to do. And when I say we, I'm gonna talk not as a fan, I'm gonna talk as the owner of the team. I need you to be a professional basketball player. And so let's, step back for a moment. Now, I understand, for some strange reason, I don't know why. I mean, it's just a curiosity of our society. People have a tendency to look at entertainers differently, right? And I don't mean to be insulting, but let's be real. That's what these guys are. They're high paid entertainer at the end of the day. So we look at these entertainers or celebrities a little bit different and hold them to a different standard or lack of standards that, you or I, the common Joe Schmuckatelli, you couldn't get away with a tenth of the things they get away with, right? So let's just be a little bit fair as far as just, look at them as a widget, if you will, a tool that's supposed to perform a particular job at a firm, right? So we look at it, like I said, from that human resources aspect or material handle aspect. When I purchase something, I expect it to perform within the specifications, within certain parameters. I don't need a bunch of extra stuff, right? Now, if that extra stuff add value, super. But if that extra stuff does not add value and it's more high maintenance and it's causing me problems, it's disrupting my organization and the ultimate goal of my organization, which is to make profit, right? Then I don't need it. So I'll say it like this, I don't care about the Ja Morant gun stuff. That's in the past, whatever. The only thing of concern for me, and that is of import, is the recent incident, right? Recent behavior. So I have a huge problem when you start talking about understand chain of command. You start talking about, as I said last night, who's running the asylum. So you are a basketball player. This organization was here before you got here. This organization will be here after you leave, right? At the end of the day, despite what fans say, despite what media says, the organization is not built on the success or failure of one so-called superstar. And the organization bring in professional people put them in particular roles. And those people, you have coaches, right? And that coach is not there for some snot-nosed brat to, you know, badmouth, cause disruption, do whatever, and not, you know, do his role on the court. That's not the purpose. You may not like the new coach, but you damn sure have to respect him. You know, when you don't respect people that are supposed to be doing their particular roles on your job or whatever in life, you don't even put shame just on yourself. You shame the people that work with you, your compadres, co-workers. You know, it's not just about the organization, it's about everybody, right? So my issue is that any player, when I see somebody do stuff like this, to me, it's an asset that's not appealing, it's not attractive, and I could care less about if we say, well, yeah, I just go to my job and I produce. You know, I just do my numbers, but then I check out and that's it. Yeah, that's one thing. But see, the thing is that you know, on the court, your behavior on the court, your behavior on the bench, your behavior in the training camp, your like AI said, you know, practice, you know, your behavior at practice, all of that type of stuff, that is your job. You don't have any, you know, it's not a 9 to 5. All that little shit, that's your job. And if you can't do that in a professional manner, then I ain't got no use for you. Now, if he want to be the coach, so be it. But as long as your ass is not the coach, that's not your job. That's not your prerogative or your right to throw a hissy fit in public or to cause hissy fit in the locker room or to become cancer. Once you start doing that, you lost all value. We can get rid of you. So that's my argument. It's cut and dry. Yep.
Okay. 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 And you
You cut out if I
my
can't hear you.
my my internet's doing funny stuff right now. Yeah, my internet doing funny stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'm back in. But yeah, my internet is cutting in and out, but for one, um some of the coaches are they have power. They might not even be, you know, how do you say, they might not even be qualified to do some of the stuff that they're doing. Now, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that that's the case. That the problem you have is the recent incidents, and you alluded to it as disrespect. My question would be, what I saw was Josh saying, "Hey, I'm upset about it, but I can only defer to the coach." Now, how he said it to but then again, he's a half naked man after taking a loss in a competitive high testosterone game, and you asking him a question that's stupid as shit, said in the way that he answered the question. And then to say, hey, they didn't want me in the game. Ask them why. To me, that's deferring, but I don't see that as disrespect. Now, maybe he did say F you on the bench. Maybe he did go in the locker room and throw a hissy fit. We don't have that information. What we do have is the media and everybody acting like this is an overblown situation, and that because of the fact that he was upset as the star on that team, that he didn't get the opportunity to try to come back and try to make it a game. He was mad about it, and so now we're notching down his talent and his ability to impact winning. That's my
No,
only
nobody,
point.
no, no,
If
no,
somebody
no,
says, "Hey,
nobody's,
look,
no, 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 no,
you know,
no, no, no,
I
no,
don't think
nobody
that,
reasonable
you
is
know,
doing that.
I don't think he can play. I don't think he can and says, "Hey, look, we need a point guard that can shoot." Then I have to look at the point guard that you're saying. Okay, so if we say look, I don't think he can shoot, then I have to say, well, let's name the point guard that you think we should get, and I'm going to ask you, can they shoot better? And then we say, so it's a list of things that I'm looking at overall to get to my ultimate conclusion that this is an overblown situation, and you can't just that you don't like the attitude when attitude don't dictate winning. It's
Yeah,
good
it
players with
does.
bad
No,
attitudes.
no, no. That,
Was
that
one
that's
of them
that's
who had a bad attitude, who was a winner, but he had a coach that. You say what?
yeah. Sorry, yes, because yeah, I don't know what's going on with your internet, but this is the thing, because
Go ahead, Ocon. I'm gonna fall back.
yeah, yeah. I mean, his attitude. I mean, I'm not say talk about him in particular. Attitude is winning, right? Mindset is winning. So going on the theme like you said about professionalism. If you're not professional, and you don't have a certain mindset of being professional, it's just about you. You ain't gonna win. Case in point, like I said, everybody over here, I don't know, maybe it's some dudes over here, they like a certain type of cat, but like Cam Whitmore, what is he doing over there in Wizard? He's doing exactly what I expect him to do, right? Crash out. I don't care about his personal talent or athleticism. That's only a couple of variables that equate to success at the highest levels in NBA. You've got to have a multitude of variables to win at the highest level, right? It's not just raw athleticism or oh, he's a bucket a minute. That ain't enough. So you talk about, we don't, I'm not making my determination based on what he said to the media, right? Yeah, that's there. And sure, he could have presented himself in a lot more intelligent manner when they asked that question, despite the stupidity of the question. But that's what you have to expect. Anybody that's in the public sphere, if you don't know how to talk, you don't need to be in the public sphere. You can't work in that field. That's like a politician. How the hell are you going to be a politician? You can't talk. You can't control your attitude, and you can't respond in an intelligent and logical fashion to the illogical. Right? That's a skill set that one must have. So, you know, I'm not criticizing him totally on that, because like I said, a lot of guys nowadays are pretty piss poor with that, I guess. But the thing that we can infer, because he did get suspended, we can infer if everybody else involved, and there's multiple people that are not media people, are reasonable. Let's use that as our point of origin, just assuming that everybody in the Memphis Grizzlies organization that approved him being suspended is reasonable, right? The decision, is approved and understood by, more than one person, and these people are reasonable, then we can infer that he did something that is, quote unquote, in soft violation or is taboo in that organization that they did not like, right? And that's just it. Case closed. It's not about the media. It's not about what we perceive or what we saw. That's the fact, right? So if he can't get on board after that slight punishment, or whatever you want to call that, if he can't get on the program, get with the program, like I said, that's attitude. That attitude is what translates to winning or losing at the end of the day. Now, if you start talking about, well, what if we could get him over here? Yeah, I could get into the technical details of saying, well, number one, we can't afford Ja Morant, right? I don't see how you would be able to afford him without losing something very valuable. But I'm not interested in saying that, oh, well, like I said, he can't shoot. Yeah, we know his 3-point percentage is pretty wanting. This is known. Okay, I don't personally think he's that great of a basketball player, to tell the truth, overall. But if you say you want to reduce it down to Ja versus Fred, to me that's not it. As it stands, we have not seen this team, which is what I'm standing on. We have not seen this team play it out with the development of Reed, Amen, and Point Shingun, if you will. We haven't seen it totally play out. So the what do you call it? Chicken Little. We got to rush out and get a point guard, and we got to do star chasing and all this type of wild ass logic. Because the window's closed. We got KD, so it's now that all of that. You talk about logic. All of those arguments are illogical to me. It's absolute fallacy based on a combination of slippery slope and all that type of stuff. So I'm not saying that we need a point guard in that sense. And personally, I don't think there's anybody out there, to tell the truth. Nobody that's really desirable, in my opinion. Okay. So, we wouldn't be talking about Ja Morant anyway. He's only come up because of this. I mean, I never heard anybody else talk about him before that.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, EF.
No, I think EF is out. Hey, what's up, Parkland?
But Laro stepped into the building. My internet is something crazy. So I want to go ahead and bring Laro up.
What's up, Larry?
Okay, thank you. Thanks, EF. Hey, Archon, man, I will say this. I understand. I mean, and I think this is a new platform, so we can talk freely. But they always been putting people up there on stage who can't talk, who can't formulate a sentence or whatnot. I mean, it's always been the case. They put out the most. I mean, they put out the worst character ever sometimes. I mean, you know how it goes. I mean,
I agree.
So when somebody should not have a platform like that, I mean, I got that part, but they always been doing it. So when they snatched Ja's platform away, because it did get snatched away, because he was everybody's hot little lick or whatever. I mean, he was gonna be the face of the NBA, like people say. All right. Okay, so he wasn't ready for it. He probably was ready for it. He didn't want it, right? So, I mean, it's been talked about a lot, man. So I don't blame these European players, especially like a guy like Shea, right? Because I'm more partial to Shea because Shea doing what he's doing, even though he's in our same division. But, man, they always do that. I mean, it's always going to be that inarticulate brother that gets put on the stage. I mean, it's just going to happen. So you can't say things like he shouldn't even be put up there because it's already going to happen, bro. I mean, it was a bad.
I didn't say that. I mean, I didn't say they shouldn't put up there. They got to be up there, right? They have to talk. If they ask them questions, they got to talk, right?
But you said they shouldn't be put up there if they don't know how to talk. And the thing is about, I'm talking about and I'm just want to put it on the Ja interview. The thing is, what could he have said to make it right? He just said, ask the coaching staff. That's kind of like practice. Are y'all talking about practice? I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, I mentioned that tonight. Yeah.
So what do you want him to say? I mean, whatever he says is going to be made to make him look bad, right? He could have got up there with a whole different argument, answer the questions like being a coaching staff and not getting along correctly right now. I mean, I don't know. You can ask them what their problem is with me, and then come back to me and ask me this question after the next game and ask me what I did wrong. If he had said it just like that, that would have been viral, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Why you can't blame Ja. It could be the organization too, bro.
I don't agree with that. So, Larry, you didn't totally hear me. Is that I said I'm not nitpicking about what he said to the media. I'm not really focused on that. That's not really the evidence of the problem to me. The evidence of the problem is that he, in fact, got suspended. And I said the only reason that he would have been suspended is that people in the organization, assuming that they are reasonable, came to the decision that he needed to be suspended. That's where I'm basing my reason upon. I don't really care what he said. I mean, yeah, is it embarrassing? Maybe. Is it not ideal? Is it not optimal? Right? No, it's not. And I
So that's
agree
what
with
I'm
you
saying.
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. What did he really do? I mean, what did he really do besides going out on the court and playing not like himself? You look at the clips and you can see he did do that, right? But other than that, what did he do wrong? I thought he handled the situation perfectly. Go ask the coaching staff. I'm
This
not
is what I'm
sure.
saying is that the key word is inference, because yeah, we weren't there. We're not on the court, but being a reasonable person, reasonable observer, how many times have you seen why does a coach bench somebody in a game?
Okay.
I don't know if he went out or not. Okay,
Yeah,
I
he
might
had to because he was getting
have went out. I don't know.
he was getting ready to make a point. Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah, he was cooking. He was cooking.
Hey, so yeah, so
Oh,
you know
can
what?
you hear me?
Likewise,
You back?
both of y'all
You back now?
both of y'all made both sides of the argument because. Okay, go ahead.
No, yeah. Let me finish up. It's like, so you're talking about at the end of the day, if we talk about the past 20 years, right? And you take those three variables I was talking about. Why would a star player get benched by the coach? Why would a star player get suspended? Right? If we look at those things and how many times has that happened, and for what reasons has that happened the past 20 years, then logically we can conclude that is not because of something unreasonable or some conspiracy. It has something to do with the individual player's behavior. Overwhelming. The evidence of that is overwhelming. So it's no point in saying, like, well, I wasn't there, I didn't hear it. Doesn't matter. It happened. And I said, it's not about what he said to the media. Who cares about what he said to the media? I'm talking about it has to be something cumulative in order for an organization to take those types of decisions, because they've only been taken so many times in the past 20 years in the NBA.
Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna come off a different. Okay, so I know it's not me, right? But just based off what Arkan said, I hope you guys can hear me, right? First, when we say players' behavior, one thing I don't like is being an old school fan is being like the players' behavior. All this players' league now.
Agree. You still there, Larry?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's a players' league, right? Okay, I think a players' league. I mean, salute to the brothers that's making the money, but everybody not making bread like that. It's a stars league, right? So when certain players make certain demands, get players traded off teams or whatnot, Ja's a bad guy now. What if Ja don't want to be there no more? What if Ja then got around influences in Memphis, by the way, and that can be like terrible. I mean, maybe he just needs to get away from that environment. What if he flexing this muscle, just want to get away like some of the greats of, I'm going to say half the millennials and Gen X or whatever, right? Gen Z. I mean, their icon, LeBron James, he manipulates the league. He's done things worse than Ja. Kobe Bryant.
You ain't gonna get
Kobe
no
Bryant
argument
went
from
out
me
there
about
and
that.
had a game. Kobe Bryant went out there. Okay, not LeBron. Kobe Bryant went out there and had a game to where it was just like, hey man, y'all need to do better than this shit. He did, and we all know it. And you don't have to be over 20, over 30 to understand that story. If you're over 30, you know the story when Kobe Bryant went out there and was just passing the ball to anybody.
Mhm.
He was just like he wanted to make a point. So what if Ja was trying to make a point? We've seen it before. And it's not like Kobe didn't have his indiscretions and embarrassing the league moments.
I don't hold Kobe on no pedestal personally. That's just me.
But you know it is already. I was just trying to point out a point for the PDs or whatnot. It's gonna come out, by the way. And you just know how society goes, how that was just wiped out. That's gonna come out too, right? I mean, so you just got to deal with it. So I can feel what the youngsters saying just a little bit, bro. Like, let that man live.
Yeah,
Let him
okay.
live, bro.
Can y'all hear me now?
Mm-hmm. You
Okay,
good, bro?
cool. Bet. No, look. Archon, I mean, listen, obviously, like I said, you are very, very intelligent. Everything you said is a actual aspect of looking at it, you know, just looking at it from the other side of the fence from where I'm at. But now you did say a couple of things. You said you compared Ja to Cam Whitmore, and you said, certain people like certain kind of players. Let me be the first to tell you, I like a certain kind of player, but the kind of players I like guys with bad attitudes, but I like guys with bad attitudes that the team and the locker room love. Vernon Maxwell, Ron Artest, people like that. Dylan
Wait,
Brooks.
wait, wait,
I
wait.
like guys like
Okay. You just kind of cut
okay,
out a little bit. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I like people like that. Now, guys like they're painting Ja out to be are not the kind of players that I consider Vernon Maxwell, Ron Artest, Stack Jack type players. That's the guy that could really be a counter to your locker room. But here's the thing, and I'll tell you this: even before all this happened, when Dylan Brooks was on the team, I did see glimpses of what you're talking about, where it seemed like Dylan Brooks was holding the team together and John was messing the team up. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with nobody who feels like Ja could be a bad thing for this organization. What I am saying is that if the talent is so great, it's like, okay, this is kind of like a Terrell Owens situation. This is kind of like a Terrell Owens situation, to where the talent can be so great that if you have a coach that knows how to manage him specifically, if you have a coach that says, you know what, I can deal with that young man. I know what he's going through. I can deal with that young man. Then it's not like you're gonna sit here and convince me that the talent ain't worth it. That's my only point. That's my only point.
And deal with
Because
George Pickens, bro. Hey, man,
right,
you can see it across the board. You might think you can, but bro, you really can't. Maybe he'll crash out. I mean, who knows? And I'm putting the pinnacle of dealing with head cases. Mike Tomlin in the NFL. So take that analogy and run with it, because I don't see it happening, because he may try to do it with Cam Whitmore. Cam should be on this team right now, but Cam was a crash out who wasn't gonna listen. And you know what?
well,
He may got rid of him quick, because you know why? Because he went over there to Washington and he doing the same thing, bro.
but
That's
Cam
what I
was
said, Larry.
also
Hmm.
But
Go ahead.
Cam also was I'm going to make an example out of somebody because this person's talent it doesn't surpass the amount of headache. On the other hand side, you look at Ja, whose talent supersedes the headache that he can bring. If you being honest now when we talk about the reality of it, like Archon said, if we can't afford him, that's one thing. We have to give up too much. That's another thing. 39 mil. Really, we can't
Man,
afford him, but
yeah, I
but
bet.
what's up?
And here's one thing I want to say to Archon. If you can get that talent for 30 cents on the dollar, bro, would you do it? Archon, would you do it? 30 cents on the dollar. 30 cents. And 30 cents, and let me clarify this. 30 cents will mean Fred not gonna opt out, but they gonna do some behind the scenes things to make him opt out next year, right? But if you can do it for like Fred, Reed Shepard, and a couple of those garbage first round picks we have, would you do it, Arkan?
Let me give you an analogy to answer that, because, like I said, my reasoning is not really based as a what do you call it, basketball fan, right? My reason is really based on organizational functioning and culture. So if you talk about how cheap the talent is, it's not my decision is not heavily weighted on that. Is that part of the weighting as far as my decision making? Yes, affordability is a part of the way that I make that decision, but it's not everything. Like I said,
Arkan,
there are other factors. Hold on a second, Larry. I'm just giving you.
Arkan,
I'm just this
you
this
do have
everyday
to
life.
answer the question. You have to answer the question: would you do that trade? At the end of it, I'm gonna hear you out, right?
Yeah.
But would you do the trade for the
No.
players I named? So
I'm explaining to you why I would say no, because the money aspect is not my total reasoning.
Mm,
Flat
that's
out,
deep.
no.
That's deep.
it's not. So you want to keep Fred?
I'm going to get rid of Fred come hell or high water. That's not the issue.
My nigga. That's
Yeah,
my nigga right there. My nigga.
but there's a time and
You know,
yeah.
one thing I will say. That's why you know what he already said it. But I took so much heat, and I saw Arkan down in Greenleaf chat, bro. I was just like, oh, well, at least two people agree with me, Arkan and such and such and whatnot. So I mean, they used to get on my head. I'm like, man, what y'all love? Why y'all love Fred so much? I mean, so I feel Arkan 100% on that, bro. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, like I
No.
said, it's a time and a place for everything, because, like, to me, when they was rebuilding, they brought Fred in. To me, all Fred is a pacifier and a pair of training wheels. That's it, no more, no less. But if you
Mhm.
notice, like you said, what do you call it? I'll just say it like this: zeitgeist. Kind of the spirit of the fans is that
Mhm.
they turn Fred Van Fleet from the pacifier training wheels into this great point guard over time, right?
Right.
When in fact the organization, nobody, I don't think Tillman is thinking like that. I don't think nobody in the organization really see Fred like that,
They
right?
did, bro. I mean,
If they
and the
did,
thing is,
that's their fault.
and hold up, think about the
Hmm.
fan base. You know how all these platforms like, man, they lost Fred, we can't do nothing. Man, look, I understand the competition was weak the last 4 games, but we talking about NBA teams, so don't be just calling the competition weak. We look good, and we can see glimpses of we can be great, bro. Like this team can do things that no other team has done. I mean, when can you be top 5 in defense and top 1 in fucking offense? That don't happen that often, bro. So we can do some things. I don't want to overspeak on it. So I mean, I let y'all go.
Hey, we are looking good. With that being said, I don't know, y'all want to get the Greenleaf channel and catch the play by play, but we can revisit this topic after the game or tomorrow, whatever, however y'all want to do it. If y'all wanna pull up, y'all hit me in a comment. I'll look at it and see, and I'll open up the thing after the game if y'all want to, or we can just
So
get on tomorrow when I do my recap. So
if I
I
will
will.
say this, if I will say this, you know what? If I want to have a debate against somebody, anybody who wants to take the challenge, right? And we can even put bread on the side, whatever money amount y'all want to. But when y'all talk about things like when you want to say Ralph Sampson versus Yao Ming, man, I'll take any side of that debate, right? Because
Okay.
against you, against
Well,
anybody, as long as we can put any kind of bread up, I'll take that debate, bro. But go ahead. You got
look, I think it was either Buckmore or Smooth said they were gonna take that debate, and as soon as somebody hit me back and let me know, I'll pass that debate on to you because I was gonna take it. I'm like you, I'd have took either side of it too, but I knew what side that I really picked. You know what I mean? I got a option, that's more than one, but I'll pass that debate on you and let you debate one of these other guys. That'll be a good debate. Now it might not be for bread. I don't know if they want to bet bread, but like I said. as we start to calculate who win the most debates, I got prizes I'm gonna give out. I got good prizes, bro. Rockets, dominoes, mugs, cups, coasters, different stuff I'm gonna give out. That might not be equal to money, but it's valuable. Valuable merchandise. So you know um so anyway, so yeah, so you want to take that debate. As soon as I find out who I want to take that debate, I'll pass that debate on you, and then you and them compare off on that debate, and we'll set it up. So stay locked in. What I do want to get before y'all go is I want to get y'all what y'all think about the game tonight, what y'all gonna be looking for in the game, any keys to the game, X factors, stuff like that.
Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, so I'll start. I mean, I think the key is what we'll do is basically we're gonna do what we did against Dallas. I think any team in the NBA that we go against, we're gonna out offensive rebound them. We're gonna get second chance points, bro. By the way, we are, and I think we have an ascension that we're gonna pay the max contract to next year, whatnot, whatever it is, 5 years, 260 or whatnot. I mean, Amen Thompson is gonna sin. Every time we see him play, he's just getting better and better. So that's why I close it.
Hmm. Yeah, so tonight I'm kind of expecting to see a little bit more out of Capella or out of, I mean, Steven Adams is pretty solid, but I still like to see a little bit more out of Steven Adams. But in particular, I want to see how Udoka is going to try to ease Capella a little bit further into the offense. Outside of that, not many X factors other than to see, let's see what kind of consistency we get out of Tari. I don't think is Barry playing?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So other than that, I'm looking at, let's see what happens from Capella, if anything. Let's see what happens with Reed, if anything. And I'm looking at Steven Adams a little bit. And then just to see if Udoka is going to try to do something new offensively. So I'm really going to be looking at the plays. Player wise, I mean, I think that, everybody's going to perform pretty solid. I mean, Amen, it ain't nothing really to be said about Amen to me, So he's going to do what everybody expects him to do.
How about Torrey? Are you forgiving Torrey now, or are we still on the?
No. I'm still watching Tari. I'm still watching Tari for sure. Like I said, I mean, let's see what he's going to produce. Let's see what he's going to do.
And one thing for you, if you're going to be doing the pregame shows, right, you got to know who playing and who not playing. I mean, you got to know that. I mean, if you're doing the pregame shows, bro, I'm just saying.
Facts. No. Usually I would be at my computer, but because my computer messing up right now, I actually got my headphones on. I stepped outside. I'm not even by my computer right now. I'm having all kind of technical difficulties. Like I sit my computer down to get my stuff up, and then my computer started messing up immediately with the internet or whatever. I don't know if it's whatever the case may be, it's causing the internet to mess up. But tonight's game is going to be a fast-paced game, I think. They do got big players that like to mix it up. So it could be a Steven Adams game where we do need to see some Steven Adams and Capella get in there and get gritty with it. But I'm also expecting John to be on a warpath, so it's not going to be a good game for Reed, but it'll be a good game for Amon as far as defensively. And then we know that John's not a prolific defender, so Amon going to get multiple runs at the basket. I'm pretty sure Eman going to try to pick John apart, try to get under his skin. Since he already frustrated, I'm pretty sure Eman going to have a game plan to try to get under John's skin. Now, so my keys to the game on defense is going to be protecting the rim, and keeping their big guys from getting second shots at the basket. The other side of it is going to be, watching Ja on the, protecting the drive, stopping Ja from getting into the lane. When Ja gets into the lane, it could be a long night if he's on the warpath. He get into the lane, whether he get into his floater or just rising up and putting it on top of your crown. Either way, it could be a long night. So them three things, I think, dribble drive, the big man, and protecting the basket. Those things are gonna be my defense. My offensive keys to the game is gonna be for us to get downhill. Also, making mid-range shots, being efficient in the mid-range is gonna be important for us because I don't think they're gonna close out hard on the 3-point because we be shooting good 3-pointers. They should be closing out hard tonight, and that's gonna leave open a lot of mid-range. We need to see how Pacheco gonna be more intentional on his floaters and all them little bunnies. We need him to be more intentional on making those shots and using his explosiveness to go ahead and dunk the ball when he don't feel like he can do that. Um, now my X factor to me is Reed Shepard again. I did see like 2 plays where Ime drew up plays to get Reed coming off of a screen, to coming off of a down screen in the corner where they actually had I think it was KD or Steven Adams. Steven Adams slide over and set a pick for Reed to come curl off of a screen and catch the ball and go into the lane and get an open shot. Now, if they're using Reed like everybody wants them to use Reed to come off those screens, Reed could eventually learn how to play that style and have a big night and be more off ball, like a lot of us think he can be. And sooner or later, Reed is going to break out his shell. Like I said, he was shooting 60% or something like that in the past couple of games. And he's on his way to becoming one of the all-time great shooters. He just has to continue to up slide. And that's my X factor for the night. So, what were you going to say, Lero?
Man, hey, you love to talk, bro. Hey, you gonna get your man, Pioneer writing Rockets niche or whatnot, bro, because you can go, bro. You like a Stephen A. Smith, bro, like real talk. Like, but this your channel. I mean, if you got 2 people watching, if you got 8 people watching, if you got 18 people watching, bro, this your lane. You love talking about the Rockets, bro. I mean. I think all kind of laughing. I mean, you love talking about, or you love talking about the Rockets, or you love hearing yourself speak, bro. You gotta, you like a Stephen A. Smith, my dude. Like, I'm letting it drop there. I mean, hey, look, thing is, one thing I want Green to do, like drop the seconds and minutes or whatnot. I don't even listen to Riley Hines and Old Boy no more, bro. It's just like. I like kicking it with the fellas, like chatting and talking, man. If I got to be in the laptop because I got to scroll back and see where y'all at, bro, it's just like, damn. But I'll be ahead of the chat all the time, like straight up. But yeah, man, kick y'all over there.
All right, see you, Larry. Nice talk.
All right, bet.
Salute to y'all, man. Salute to you, Archon, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man.
No worries.
You can get you on one of these debates, let you exercise your your university skill.
Yeah, maybe so. All right, man. Thanks for having me. Talk to you later.
I appreciate you coming up, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so with that being said, I'm getting ready to shut down the stream. I appreciate everybody coming up. Johannes, Bugmo in the chat. Laro, Archon, Rastax. Who else? I know we got people out there watching who didn't get in the chat and say nothing. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I appreciate everybody who gonna tune in for tomorrow's recap. And we can pick this conversation back up, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. But as you know, stay tuned in, stay tapped in. We're gonna keep you lit. This is Houston Rockets Red Alert. I'm gonna sign off.
I'm your host, Hope Champion, and this has been another exciting edition of Red Alert Rocket Zone. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the great things we have coming your way. Want to jump into one of our one-on-one debates? Email us at redalert.rocketzone@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. While you're at it, head over to the website and check out the KG1 merch. And if you want to show support or buy us a coffee, you can send it through Cash App, $6KG1. We truly appreciate your support because every show needs a spark. And for us, you are it. So come back again and blast off with Red Alert Rocket Zone.
Another night, another stat I can't defend. Another hope, our hope never ends. Every loss feel like deja vu, but
but every win reminds me why I do. The lights fade, but the passion don't. The city fans got pushed back for the smoke. Even when the shots don't fall, I'm still here to talk that talk. You can't believe I'm still tuned to this tone, still taking off in the rocket zone. All the heat, all the pride, you know what we own. Yeah, welcome home to the red alert zone. We're gonna break it down like how to break down the zone. He is an alien man, Mike calling on the phone. Every fan's a debater at heart. Every stance to take is part of the art. Oh, they say the data never lies, but numbers can't feel what's on the heart inside. So we clutch city till we die, even if we hold their feet to the fire. Tuned to this tone, taking off in the rocket zone. All the hate, all the pride, you know what we are. Yeah, welcome home to the red alert zone. No alien man, he is an alien man. He's an alien, that's a man, and he is a Rockies fan. Oh, alien man, calling to talk about the Rockies. Oh, alien man, he's an alien man. Oh man, he just an alien. He's an alien, alien. He's an alien, he's an 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 alien. Oh, 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 Rockets, man. He's an alien, he's a Rockets fan. Who would know more about Rockets than alien man, area 51 dude. He's an alien. To the red alert zone.